We're at Westminster on Sky News. More now on the pressure on the Labour leader, Jeremy Corbyn. Joining me now, Benjamin Butterworth, who's chair of London Young Labour, 13,500 members, and you want him to go.
I think a lot of young members are really angry at the moment because Jeremy stood on this platform of mobilising young people, of standing up for young people's issues. And I know that I was excited by that. So many young people were excited by that. And for young people, about 3/4 of them voted Remain last week. And it feels like Jeremy didn't put in a proper campaign, that he wasn't passionate about remaining in the EU. And then today we heard Chris Bryant saying that when Jeremy Corbyn was asked, he wouldn't even confirm that he voted Remain himself. So I think those of us from Generation Remain feel very disappointed in the way he's let us down. And we're going to be the ones worst affected by leaving the EU.
But like the Remain or Leave vote itself, it seemed to be the older generation who turned out in larger numbers than the young generation and perhaps influenced the outcome. Couldn't that happen again if you go for a new leader?
I mean, it's really true to say that older people decided this referendum. And when Jeremy Corbyn stood for the leadership, there was this huge swell of young people that were energised and passionate about him, and with good reason. But the fact of what we saw last Thursday was that young people didn't turn out in huge numbers, and that was one of his promises. And also, Labour-leaning areas didn't turn out in great numbers for Remain, and he promised us that he would get the North and Scotland on side, and that's not what we saw in the referendum. So the reason that I'm disappointed as a young person is because the way he measured his own success is the way he failed last Thursday.
If you can't get rid of him, what do you fear for the party itself?
I think right now it's important that he takes responsibility, and I just want to speak up for those young members across London and across the country who are worst off because of what he's done. You know, Jeremy was meant to be speaking at Glastonbury over the weekend and he didn't do that. Now, that is a man that realises he has let a generation down, and I think someone needs to confront Jeremy on that.
Is there somebody that you as a group find yourself coalescing around, somebody who would inspire your generation as leader?
No, I mean, lots of people have, different MPs they like and think would be good leaders. But for me, it's about making the point of what's happened here and saying that he should take responsibility for how young people have been let down in the past few days. This isn't about some kind of factional manoeuvring. You know, the MPs that have resigned today were the team that wanted to make it work, and they're resigning because he wouldn't make it work. And so for me, it's about making that point and getting the leader just to take responsibility to what he's done to young people in this country.
But in effect, Corbyn was elected by Labour Party members. It now appears that a lot of Labour Party members, or younger ones like yourself, don't want him. A lot of MPs don't want him, but he says he's staying on because the majority of Labour Party regular rank and file members will back him. It sounds like a very divided party.
It definitely has divisions, although I think we're not unique in that at the moment. Jeremy says he has the support of the grassroots, and I don't dispute that there is a big chunk of Labour Party members that still care for him. But the Labour leader should have the support of the grassroots. That isn't enough to keep on as Labour leader. The fact is, he stood on a platform in an election and we lost that. And it wasn't just a general election. It was much more than that. And it was the hopes and dreams of young people that were lost on Thursday with that Brexit vote. And Jeremy needs to take responsibility for that.
Ben Butterworth, thank you very much indeed from London Young Labour there. Plenty more coming up on this topic in just a moment on Sky News.